Working Class Beer Reviews is looking at Sierra Nevada Torpedo IPA. Torpedo IPA from Sierra Nevada, it says Extra IPA, is pretty highly regarded in the craft beer segment. It is, to some people, considered the golden standard for IPAs. It comes in at 7.2% alcohol and 65 IBUs, so it's pretty high up in there in the bitterness units. 7.2, that might be in the double IPA range. So it doesn't call it a double IPA, but for some people this might be considered a double IPA. I have had this before. I got this out of a sampler pack that I shared with a friend. So I was able to keep a few and I saved them aside for review purposes. So this is the first one that I've got. It says, you know what, before I talk about it, let's open it. Oh yeah, lots of smoke, or vapor smoke. It's good. We got my little tulip IPA glass I got, and I'm gonna tilt the pour here a little bit. I'm not gonna go super strong, but I am gonna open it up. Oh yeah, still lots of charge there, lots of foam. Look at that. So a little bit about this. The hop torpedo is a way of hopping the beer that instead of, like, I guess in the brewing process, they might put a big, like almost like a giant tea bag of dry hops, and they steep the hops in there for bittering. But they were finding that the hops in the middle were still dry after they pulled it out. So what they did was they created like this cylinder, this skinny, tall cylinder, and packed it full of hops. And I guess it was mesh or like had holes in it and stuff like that. And they would use that to where it would completely saturate all the hops. So what they were doing is they're boosting the hop. They were doing it for aroma without making it, adding more bitterness. So they still wanted to have the bitterness, but they didn't want to make it overwhelmingly bitter. But they wanted the aroma to be, I guess you would say overwhelming, or really a lot stronger. They wanted to be able to smell it more. So it says here they use 2-row pale and caramelized malts. So you can tell by the color here that there's definitely some caramelization going on there. And the hops used are Crystal, Citra, and Magnum. So Citra obviously is a very, very aromatic hop. Magnum is probably more for strength and bitterness, I'm guessing, by the name. And Crystal is just another dimension. So yeah, so that's just one of their innovations that they did for this particular beer. And I don't know, maybe they use it on others. I know that Torpedo, it seems like they were doing some of those tropical flavors there for a while. The tropical IPAs were getting big there 4 years ago. You know, I never really got around to trying a bunch of those. So 7.2 is pretty strong, but for an ale, that's, you know, palpable. It's something that you can you metabolize differently than a lager. If this is a 7.2 lager, I'd say just be careful, okay? But this is still fairly somewhat sessionable, but you wouldn't want to crush a bunch of these because it'll get to you. Well, let's see what we got here. Maybe it's not hazy, but it's not super clear. I guess you could say murky. It's got that syrupy look to it. The head's sticking around quite a bit, but that's also, these glasses are good for that. If I was to have poured it into a mug or a, you know, like a pint glass, it may not hold that much of a head. So this style glass, I've told you about these. This is good for IPAs and something you really want the aroma and the head to stick around, the aroma to stay around in. So it's stayed in a nice column here, probably about 2 fingers worth. The head's a little foamy on top. Let's give it a smell. Oh yeah, very hop forward, hop forward. Smell some maltiness to it, which you're going to at that ABV. So yeah, you definitely get that kind of grapefruity smell out of it. It's more of a citrus style, so the citra hops would definitely bring the aroma to there. It's not going to be the grassy or piney. I don't smell the pininess. Definitely very pronounced citrus style hops. So let's give it a taste. Oh, yeah. It's medium mouthfeel. Probably edging towards the heavy side, but not heavy by any means. Medium mouthfeel. The hoppiness, it's kind of a resinous where it sticks, puts a coating in your mouth. I guess some people might call it dank. It's got a dank hoppiness to it because it's kind of sticky and it lingers. And it's strong, but it's not overwhelming to me. 10, 12 years ago, you would have asked me to drink one of these up in the, you know, I just wasn't prepared. I may have told the story about the first IPA I ever tried. I saw the Lagunitas Hop Stupid, and I saw it in one of those big bomber bottles you can get sometimes at the grocery store or gas station. I'm like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. And they spelled it S-T-O-O-P-I-D, kind of like the band Slightly Stupid. If you're a reggae Sublime type listener, you might like Slightly Stupid. It's spelled like that, and I couldn't finish it. It was so bitter. But in all regards, it's actually higher in IBUs than this. It's like, I think it's over 100. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. So I couldn't finish it. I would like to revisit that now that I'm more acclimated to stuff like this. I enjoy an IPA once in a while. Like I said, I bought the sampler pack. I was up in Blue Springs, Missouri. I think it was can't remember if it was a Hy-Vee or maybe it was a Price Chopper. Maybe one of those Constantino's Price Choppers up there in the city. Wonderful chain of grocery stores. And I think it was on sale, like $13.99. So for a craft beer, $13.99 for a 12 pack is actually pretty good. And when you get a sampler, they have 4 different types, 3 bottles of 4 different types. It was the Torpedo, the Pale Ale. Ooh. I think they wanted to say they had like a coffee stout and then some sort of a session. I want to say it's like a session IPA or something like that. But I saved one of these, I saved the Pale Ale, and then the session one, I think I saved the coffee one. I let my friend have the last one because he really enjoyed it. So yeah, definitely worth its weight. It's really good. I mean, it's something to be appreciated. Agitate that a little bit, get that in the camera. So it's popular for a reason, and I've never seen it on tap, but in my area I wouldn't expect to. We do have certain IPAs on tap, mainly more of the local craft beer section, but Sierra Nevada started in the early 80s, I think, and they started with the Pale Ale. They're one of the pioneers of the American craft beer movement in the early 80s. I don't know the full history on the company, but they make a lot of products and stuff like that. So I'm sure, check out their website. It's very comprehensive. And I know they have social media, like I'm sure they have Facebook and Instagram or, you know, things like that. So if you're interested in seeing what their activities they've got going on, they sponsor music festivals and stuff like that, I've seen. So, oh, there's some writing here on the back here. Let's read this. At Sierra Nevada, we take hops seriously. Torpedo Extra IPA starts with the world's finest whole cone hops and intensifies their flavors with a little magic from our hop torpedo. The torpedo is a revolutionary method of dry hopping that brings this beer alive with a rush of complex hop aromas and flavors not found in any other beer. Well, I mean, that's a bit of a bold claim, but you know, it holds up to it. It is bold. I know a lot of people love this. This is, you know, like I said earlier on in the video, it's considered like a benchmark for double IPAs or strong IPAs. This is what you would probably compare it to. And I can see why, because it is good. It ticks all the boxes that you're going for. It's got the body, the bitterness, the aroma, the flavor, and you know, it has got some definite amount of complexity to it. Yeah, which it's pretty easy to find if you go to a market that sells craft beers. So let me know what you guys think of this. I want some interchange. So feel free to leave a comment of what your take on this beer is, your experience, how much you enjoyed. If you don't like it, that's fine. I want to hear about it. I want to know. I want to have an interchange. I love talking to people. So thanks for watching this video and taking the time out to share this with me. And I will see you guys later.